Assalamualaikum wa rahmatullah wa barakatuh. Welcome to my YouTube channel, and today is the lecture number 13. How was lecture number 12? It was very informative. We finished the Sahi. And at the end of it, such an important thing we realized that it is so very important to arrange our sacrificial animal. Which you don't, you will have to fast for 3 days. And after finishing this lecture, I was imagining that can you imagine, dear viewers, dear listeners, if you fail to arrange an animal, of course, with today's agents, you communicate to the agent and you would pay your money, and that money, and with that money, it is so very easy that they would make that animal sacrifice, which is the killing of the animal. That is it at the abattoir itself, which you do not get to see because of huge rush. If it is possible, you might also get to see it. But if at all you fail to do it, you would be incumbent to face 3 days of fasting in Hajj and 7 days after returning home. You remember Nabi Sallallahu told them that because you didn't bring your sacrificial animals, that is indirectly indicating us. And when we are today going to start our next lecture, this is number 13, we would see an entire account of it. It is a big part of 2-3 parts where majority of the Sahabas would relieve themselves from the Umrah, because he has made his announcement now that those who have not brought, many of the bigger, highly prestigious, highly dignified, the upper segment Sahabas would really, we will see that, we will read this in this lecture, but you have to be very careful. You have to arrange your sacrificial animals. Now moving ahead, we are here now at the completion. Okay, the Sahi is over and we are completion of the Umrah. Now here, the companions who had brought their sacrificial animals with them, such as the bigger level Sahabas, Hazrat Abu Bakr, Hazrat Iman, they are the top level one. They have brought the sacrificial animals with them. Hazrat Umar, Hazrat Uthman, Abdul Rahman ibn Auf radiallahu anhu, Hazrat Talha, Al-Zubair also, they have all brought the sacrificial animals. They stayed in the state of Ihram because they had brought. No? So Nabi Sallallahu said, if you have brought it, be in the state of Ihram. But the wives of Prophet ﷺ did not bring the sacrificial animals with them. So they left the state of Ihram, although they had intended to combine Hajj and Umrah as a Hajj al-Kiran. But they had to leave it because they didn't bring with them the sacrificial animals. Now the exception was Aisha radiallahu anha. She remained in Ihram because Nabi ﷺ had told her to stay because she was in state of menstruation. But there is one of the wife of Prophet ﷺ, Hafsa bint Umar, who is the daughter of Umar, Hafsa radiallahu anha. She asked the Prophet ﷺ that why have not you released yourself from Ihram after having performed Umrah, because she is not aware, possibly might be the reason of the circumstances which are going on in our under. Nabi ﷺ is telling her that I have matted my hair, I have marked my sacrificial animals. I won't release myself Ihram until I have carried out the Hadi. And that means he is giving indication to Hafsa bint Umar that I have my sacrificial animal ready with me. I even marked it. So that way I wouldn't release. You people are releasing yourselves because you are not having the sacrificial animals with you. Now the Sahabas, companions on the whole, felt very uneasy, and that is what I was telling you. The Sahaba, in the last previous lecture I was telling you, the Sahabas over here are little upset, uneasy of this whole episode. They do not want to relieve themselves from the state of Ihram because Nabi, our Prophet ﷺ, is in Ihram. How would they release themselves? And they would not be Muhrim, and there is their Prophet who is Muhrim. Just because of this conflict, they are asking this. See, they had left Medina with the intention of performing Hajj. They had no desire of living in the state of Ihram before the pilgrimage had started. They would do it because our Nabi Sallallahu, whichever state he is in, we will be. Then we have a hadith. Al-Bukhari 1568. Our hearts were anguished. They are in anger. Would you believe? Because reaction of the people, Muhammad was messenger of Allah, we do not know whether he received this news from heavens or from the people. Now, Nabi Sallallahu, our Prophet, had come to know that this uneasiness is going on in around my Sahabas, my companions who are there, But Jabir ibn Abdullah radiallahu anhu, he is telling that we didn't do ourselves go and personally tell this to our Prophet Sallallahu, but he got miraculously known of this either from heavens or either from revelations or either from the people. And there is very little chance that people are murmuring this to him, but he has come to know that, hey, my companions are finding it very hard. I told you in the previous lecture also, they would have arranged the animal in the beginning only, but Nabi did this, Prophet ﷺ, during the middle of the journey. And now we will know the explanatory note from ﷺ, our Nabi, Prophet ﷺ. He will explain that to them. I read this. See, again they were hesitant also to ask. They would be performing Umrah during the months of Hajj. There is another reason also that they were little hesitant. See, you will know now, we will read it. It was inconceivable for some of the companions at the time, as this was something that was prohibited before the advent of Islam. There is the Bukhari Hadith 1564, you can read it. They were also perplexed. If you read this Hadith of Bukhari, if you read this Hadith of Bukhari 1564, we'll know here. See, the people of pre-Islamic during the Jahiliyyah, they used to think to perform Umrah during the months of Hajj was one of the major sins. I mean, in the month of Dhul Hijjah, we should only do the Hajj, bigger Hajj. We can't do Umrah. You understanding? They have made this intention of Hajj only. Okay, Umrah has become a part, a ritual of it, that is they can understand. But here Nabi Sallallahu is telling them to remove yourself from the intention of Hajj for 2-3 days. If you have not brought the sacrificial animals, you should relieve yourself from this. And during the pre-Islamic period, that is the Jahiliyyah door, that would mean that they would only finish their Umrah and go back to their homes. And that they didn't intend to want. They wanted that they only finish their Hajj and go back. Okay. So, Umrah is permissible for the one who wishes to perform it. In the morning of 4th Hijjah, the Prophet ﷺ, his company reached Makkah, assuming Ihram for Hajj, and he ordered his companions to make the intention to the Ihram for Umrah only. So, they considered his order as something great and were puzzled. Allah's Messenger, what kind of finishing of Ihram is allowed? The Prophet ﷺ finished the Ihram completely like a non-Muslim, non-Muhrim. You are allowed everything. You see, Nabi ﷺ in this very hadith is telling them that relieve yourself. It's like non-Muhrim, you would become non-Muhrim, and this is the morning of 4th Dhul Hijjah. Though he will tell them that you can again assume your Ihram at the 8th. This is creating confusion, and that they are perplexed by the fact that they were able to enjoy everything available to a person who is not in Ihram on the day of Arafah, considered to be the climax of the pilgrimage, was only a few days away. Bukhari Hadith 73, Arafah is coming, how would we not be Muhrim? See, we all know this, only now we can understand today's, because all the questions and the answers have been sorted out. But for them it was a matter of bigger and greater perplexion and confusion. What is this going on? This Arafah day is going to come. And on that day we would not be Muhrims. Because of this sacrificial animal episode, it's not acceptable to us. So overall, even that, the whole ritual where they used to never finish this month without a Hajj, the people, the residents are very confused, including the companions. Okay, now they even saw the Prophet ﷺ himself remain in the state of Ihram, and such was their desire to emulate everything that he did out of their love from. They were slow to comply with this. Again, another reason, they are not ready to accept this situation where Nabi ﷺ would be Muhrim and we will not be Muhrim. See, all of this has happened because of the sacrificial animal episode. It has to be very, very important. This is such an important picture. Hadith is important. See, they would have also arranged Hadith, but they were not told. I am repeating 15 number of times. Had they been aware of it, they would have arranged. Now, Prophet ﷺ is telling them, you are well aware. I am the most God-fearing. I am the most truthful. I am the most pious amongst you. You are all aware of this. Wallahi, if sacrificial animals, even I had not been having with me, I would have also left the state of Ihram. This is all happening because you are not having your sacrificial animals with you. Yes, okay, fine, I told you during the middle of the journey, but that is the state, that is the reality. You have to underline it, pre-arrange it prior to beginning your Hajj. Your animal of sacrifice is ready. Be it goat, be it sheep, be it camel, be it cow. Has to be ready. And Nabi is telling that even if I was not having my animal with me, even I would leave the state of ihram. So I have to bring it, only then I can make a niyah of Hajj. And because this is 4th Dhul Hajj, from 4 to 8 after completion of Halak, how can I stay Muhrim? So Nabi is telling them, you can't stay Muhrim. You have to get out of relieve yourself from the state of ihram. Understanding? And Nabi is telling them that if I would not be having, even I would be leaving the state of ihram. And if I knew what I have come to know now, I wouldn't have brought sacrificial animals with me. It's the Sahih Hadith of 15681651. That means Nabi is telling that I only come to this know of this now. During the journey, it might have been through our angel Jibreel Islam, not the prior beginning his journey. If you would be knowing this, even I wouldn't have brought sacrificial animals with me. If I knew what I have come to know now, that means possibly he might not have brought with him. Wouldn't have brought sacrificial animals with me also. See, only come to know now he is telling, not prior to it. It could have been possible that he might have also not brought with him, okay? So when he said this so intensely, so very dedicatedly, so very passionately, the companions believed, oh, our Prophet is telling this to us. That means it is definitely, genuinely is telling, and we'll have to now relieve ourselves. So, so many reasons they didn't want to relieve themselves. They were not able to accept that they would be doing some things which our Prophet ﷺ would be in Muhrim and we would not be in Iran. 2, in the pre-Islamic period also, in the month of Hajj, Umrah would be not allowed. Not allowed in the sense only the bigger Hajj would be done. And 3, they had already every time done the intention of doing Hajj only. Not in the middle of the Hajj they have been told that we will be wanting to relieve yourselves from this state of Iman. When Nabi Islam convinced them that all my dears, I would have done it. I only come to know now. Had I known this before, there was a possibility even my sacrificial animal would not be with me. Now they are satisfied. And then the Prophet ﷺ cut the Nabi companions. Now the Sahabas cut their hair. Once they cut their hair, they khalas, Umrah finished now, Umrah khatam. And now they released, and then there was one companion, Suraka ibn Malik ibn Jushum, radiyallahu anhu. He asked Prophet ﷺ, Ya Messenger of God, is this tamattu that we have carried out or this year or forever? Prophet ﷺ interlaced his finger and said, no, it is for all time. He repeated 3 times. The Umrah will be associated with the Hajj until the Yawm al-Qiyamah, like this. This is the Sahih Hadith 1218. Suraka ibn Malik ibn Jushum, he is asking him that whether this is Hajj Tamattu, like what? In Tamattu, you have the freedom of finishing the Umrah and then taking a cap, but in Qarin, you have to continue. And because of all this fraka had occurred, where Nabi Sallallahu telling them, because you all guys are Qarin, no, you can't be Qarin. But now it has become a Tamattu with an additional Hadi. But, he is telling that no, that doesn't mean that this episode has occurred only because of the sacrificial animal thing. No, be it sacrificial animal episode or be it not, will be. Nabi Sallallahu is teaching them. You see, you have to realize this fact here, viewers, that we are only coming to know of all of this now. In that times, he is only giving them lessons. He is teaching them of all the rituals that are going to follow years later, generations later. So here this is just the beginning. He's like putting a foundation stone of it, and at that time he's telling, be it okay because of the sacrificial animal this episode is going on, but Umrah with Hajj will be done till the Yawm al-Qiyamah. The Prophet ﷺ sanctioned the performance of Umrah during the months of Hajj, and a practice that had previously been prohibited during the period of Jahiliyyah. In this way, that hadith which we just read, where during the time of Jahiliyyah, they would not do Umrah, they would not do minor pilgrimage, though the minor pilgrimage rituals would differ, but they would primarily not do it during the month of Dhul Hajj, that is the 12th month. But he abolished this practice, he reversed this practice. He said till the Yawm al-Qiyamah, it will be now done. The Umrah will be done along with Hajj. That is it. See, this is the very reason of these lectures. By reading all these instances, by reading all these accounts, we realize that whatever is going on today is actually authentic, and that has been done by Nabi Sallallahu. That is the reason why I'm pleading to all my viewers and viewers that instead of wasting your time over there, come over here, try to read about it. See how much our history is abundant with information like this, and until we are able to know of this information, how would we able to put this all information in our mind? Our brains are so very become impure by the very media hammering with us with all of this unnecessary garbage, unnecessary wastage of the information, some really trash news which is not even related with our personal lives, with no any useful purpose. At least by knowing this, we would know at least how to spend. I'm not even telling about Akira, but at least we would be knowing about this historical accounts by which when we're everywhere 2 year, at least the very residents of Saudi Arabia or be it anywhere, they would want to wish to do Umrah. But if not, they knowing the very historical accounts of our very Umrah which was done by very Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Instead of that, what we are doing? Watching songs, watching the dramas, the Pakistani dramas, the Indian dramas, this serial, even my own self. I plead to you that, okay, might be doing it. I'm not saying to totally abolish it, totally abandon it, but at the same time, mix it, merge it with this also. Increase the content, this content, not you only read mine channels, even the bigger sheikhs. Who am I? I'm nothing in front of those very learned sheikhs. Or at least you can even watch their channels. If they are running their own channel, watch their videos instead of wasting their time. It might just totally don't abandon it. But keep this content, keep on renewing your Iman, purifying it, okay, refreshing it every time. And then moving ahead, there are now 4 days because this is the fourth day of Dhul Hajj, and our exact Hajj is going to begin at 8. Prior to that, 7th day is also important, so another 3 days. Now this is the image of Wadi al-Muhassab. Wadi al-Muhassab, today's image, okay? This is somewhere just between this Wadi al-Muhassab, we will know of this, show you it. It's somewhere between only in Muzdalifah. I can easily recognize this. Mina to Makkah, okay. So from Kaaba to Mina or Makkah to Mina, there is one place, this Wadi al-Muhassab. They camped there. Nabi Sallallahu, you will see now, I read it. See, after complete the initial rituals of the pilgrimage, this was all over. Okay, the people who relieve themselves from our ihram, they are the ones who will be fasting. If they arrange an animal, no problem. They can again continue their Hajj on the 8th day. But now they have to do the camping because they have to wait for 3 days till the Hajj is going to begin. So the Prophet ﷺ and his companions moved to Al-Abta. It is also known as the Wadi al-Muhassab. Khaif Bani Kinana. It is situated in the east of Makkah. It was the ideal place for an encampment. It was open, it was comfortable. So they are just moving like 3-4 kilometers ahead from Kaaba, and all of this gathering, all of the crowd, the Sahabas and all of them can make their camps there. Also there was a provision of water. This is the area where so many wells were also present. Because there was an abundant supply of water also. Wells were also there. It was in plenty. He remained in Al-Abta for from the time of Duhar on Sunday to Fajr on Thursday, a total of 4 days. So basically 4, 5, 6, 7. Till 7 Fajr he will be there. Okay. So he observed 20 prayers. So 4th day he observed 5 prayers. 5th day he observed 5 prayers. 6th day observed 5 prayers. 7th day 4, 5, 6, 7, 20 prayers, and shortening all of them. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. It's like from 3rd, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Abu Juhayfa radiallahu anhu, who was only 10 years old at the time, he relates the following about an instance. See, this is Abu Juhayfa radiallahu anhu. Now you would get from this narration the evidence of the fact that they really had stayed at Wadi al-Muhassab, our Nabi Sallallahu with his companions. And this is Sahih Hadith from Bukhari 376, 3553. I went to Prophet ﷺ at Al-Abta. It is called Abta also, Wadi al-Muhassab, Khaif Bani Kinana. He was in red tent. His tent was red color. Bilal radiallahu anhu came out. He went, Abu Juhayfa, he is narrating this incident. with the remainder of his ablution water, sprinkling it on those around him. So Bilal, Hazrat Bilal, the first Muaddin, one who gave our first azan, he is coming after doing his wudu. There is this account incident which Abu Juhayfa radiallahu anhu is recalling. After wudu, he is sprinkling the water around him. Hazrat Bilal made the call, he made the azan, and I watched as his mouth moved first here and then right to the left during his azan. And then a short lance was set up. The messenger of Allah came out, okay, dressed in a red jubba, and this all is happening in this place, Wadi al-Musaab, and I thought I could see the shine of his legs. He performed the duhar or the asr prayer facing towards the lance. Women, dogs and donkeys passed by without any hindrance. He kept on performing prayers of 2 rakats until he reached Medina. Then people began taking hold of his hand and wiping it over their faces. I took his hand and placed it. I placed it on my face. I found it to be cooler than ice and more sweet smelling than musk. Now, what is this basically? Is that okay? Till this time, in this narration, we come to know that he wore red hulla. He came in the camp. He came outside after Hazrat Bilal came. Hazrat Bilal sprinkled the water. That is the very evidence that this at all encamped. But the salahs which he was doing, he continued till when he returned also to Medina. That he added in this narration. But in this narration, we come to know that they had camped at Wadi al-Muhassab. Now, there is a very important chapter we are now going to read, dears. If I make it very fast, we can end it. And I'll try to be fast. See, in this whole caravan, are you aware that Ali ibn Ali Talib, our 4th Khalifa, he was not there. Can you imagine? Prophet ﷺ, only Hajj before his sad demise, and Hazrat Ali was not. What was the reason? We'll come to know now. Hazrat Ali radiallahu anhu, who had been sent to govern Yemen in succession to Khalid ibn al-Walid radiallahu anhu, reconvened with the Prophet ﷺ at Alabata with the intention of performing Hajj in the same way as him. And we have a report from Jabir ibn Abdullah radiallahu anhu. Ali ibn Ali Talib returned from Yemen. He was a governor. Prophet ﷺ said to him, "With what intention have you assumed the state of Ihram?" Ali answered, "I have assumed Ihram with the intention as that of Prophet ﷺ." The Prophet ﷺ said, "Offer a hadi, remain in the state of Ihram as you are now." See, he told him to offer a additional dam. Simple. Hazrat Ali ibn Ali Talib was not with the caravan. Basically, he was in Yemen. And he was sent there after Khalid ibn al-Walid radiallahu anhu. So because he was not the governor till time being, Hazrat Ali was sent there. Now what is happening? All the companions, including our Prophet ﷺ, they are camping. Where? At Wadi al-Muhassab. Now here Hazrat Ali ibn al-Talib is suddenly entering and he is telling, okay, now even I am Haji, you are Hajj, I will do my Hajj. But I come exactly from the very place I have become Muhrim over here. And I already, Nabi ﷺ asking him, what intention have you assumed? He says the intention of Prophet ﷺ. Then he said, you have to offer a hadi. Lesh, because, okay, you directly are entering, na? You have to, okay, he is a Muhrim now, that is okay. He will do his Hajj and he would stay with, and of course there was animal of sacrifice issue is not with him. But he is entering Hajj directly in the months of Hajj. He is directly entering it. So he has to offer a hadi and remain in the state of Ihram as you are now. So because see, Nabi ﷺ telling him that don't do this Umrah. You directly commence your Hajj with us, but offer a hadi. Okay. Now when he entering his wife Fatima sallallahu alaihi wasallam radiallahu anha, he saw that she had released herself from Ihram because Fatima radiallahu anha is the wife of our Hazrat Ali ibn Ali Talib radiallahu anhu. He is saying that my wife Fatima she is not a Muhrim. He is a Muhrim. Nabi said to him, okay, you now make the intention of Hajj, no problem, but offer an additional Hadi and become a Muhrim like us. Okay, those who had traveled with me, I told when doing the did the Umrah with me, and who had bought the animals, I told them be the Muhrim. If you didn't have the animals, release yourself from a Muhrim. Now in your situation, you have already come with the very intention of Hajj, but over here you are with us, so you directly assume Hajj, but you will have to offer a Muhrim. See again, he can't enter like this. He can't enter like this. He has to bring an animal with him. With that intention only he has to. But he has now directly come and directly wants to start Hajj. No, he has to also offer an additional Hadi. Okay. But here he is finding his wife Fatima radiallahu anha. She is not in Muhrim. Now she was wearing dyed garments, like colored garments. Who? Fatima radiallahu anha. And she had even applied kajal, a traditional eye cosmetic. After questioning her about it, she informed him that Prophet ﷺ, her father had ordered to do so. Of course, Fatima might also not be having the sacrificial animal, and with that earlier command, she has released herself also. And there is a report of Jabir radiallahu anhu. Ali came from Yemen with the sacrificial animals of the Prophet ﷺ and found Fatima to be among those who had left Ihram. So Hazrat Ali has actually come the sacrificial animals for the Prophet. And that only Prophet ﷺ is telling him, make one sacrifice additional. Because you can't directly assume Ihram like this, make an intention of Hajj after entering here. No, you have to make an intention prior only. You entered already the miqat here, that intention itself was one sacrificial animal. He gives all the sacrificial animals to the Prophet ﷺ. He found Fatima to be among those who had left Ihram. She was putting dyed garments. Ali showed disapproval to it. She says, my father has commanded me to do so. Hazrat Ali is narrating, I went to the Messenger ﷺ showing annoyance at Fatima. I am not agreeing to this fact that Fatima is not a Muhrim radiallahu anha, for what she had done. And he asked the verdict of Messenger regarding what she has narrated. So he said, yes, I told him that I was angry with her. Hazrat Ali is telling him that I am angry with Fatima, and Nabi ﷺ said, she has told the truth. She has told the truth 2 times. And there is 1-1 it has. Nasai 12712. So here this is very important episode of arrival of Hazrat Ali ibn Ali Talib. We have to remember this is a very important episode in this lecture. We are coming to know that Hazrat Ali was not there. He entered directly. He joined the gathering. In that karama, when he is joining the group, now Rasulullah is telling you have to make an additional sacrifice of the animal, because you can't directly make an intention of Hajj the moment you are here. You have to make it from there itself. But already the Hajj month has started and you are joining us and entered the miqat. You have to make an additional sacrifice. Okay. And then you can join with us. Now you are a Karin. Directly you can start your Hajj with us. Then when he is seeing his own wife, Hazrat Fatima radiallahu anha, who is not in the state of Ihram, because our Nabi ﷺ had already offered the earlier people that who had not brought the sacrificial elements, among those all the women were then of course his own daughter Fatima. Fatima is his daughter radiallahu anha, the very blessed daughter of our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And a very beloved daughter, but she herself is not wearing the ihram. Hazrat Ali, her husband, is annoyed, a bit angry that how can it be possible that you are not a Muhrim, you are my wife and you are not a Muhrim, if all other Sahabas are Muhrim. To which Hazrat Fatima radiallahu anha tells to her beloved husband Hazrat Ali ibn Ali Talib radiallahu anhu that this has been commanded to me by my father, who is our Prophet. He himself goes to Prophet to verify of this fact, and he tells him twice, don't be angry on her, it is me who has told this to all the women, my wives also and your wife also and my daughter also. She has told the truth 2 times. After this, there are only 2 passages remaining and we will finish our lecture. There is one narration, Abu Musa al-Ashari radiallahu anhu, there is a narration from him. The Prophet ﷺ sent me to people in Yemen, and when I returned, I found him at Alabata. He asked me, with what intention have you assumed ihram? That is either, yani what is the intention for you to wear ihram? Is it for Hajj or is it for Umrah or is it for both of it? Is it for Hajj? Is it for Umrah? Is it for both of it? So if it is only for Umrah, okay, fine. If it is for Hajj, which Hajj? Hazrat Ali ibn Abi Talib gave him the intention, Kiran. Kiran, where Kiran means I will do Umrah and Hajj, and I will not release myself from Umrah and Hajj. But here you have already entered, you have to have sacrifice an addition. The same, there is an account of another companion, Abu Musa al-Ashari. He replies, I have assumed ihram with the intention like that. Same, he is giving the same reply, Hajj al-Karin. He will also say to him, do you have an animal with you? I replied, no, I don't have animal with you. Now he ordered me to perform tawaf around the Kaaba, sa'i between Safa and Marwa before leaving the state of ihram. So he just told him, no, in that situation you cannot make, see, for every different individuals, he would have different decisions. So there is one person, Hazrat Ali radiallahu anhu, he has sacrificial animals with him. To him, he is telling him, okay, you can offer a hadi and continue your state of Hajj with us. You will proceed, we will proceed and do our Hajj rituals. Here is one Sahaba who does not have. He is asking him, you wore the ihram? Fine, no problem. You wore the ihram, but you only have to make an intention of Umrah. Because there is no point of I am advising you or giving you the decision of making a sacrifice. The poor person doesn't even have the sacrificial animal. The best judge. He was the most fair. Yani the best leader the humanity has ever seen. And there are so many leaders all around in historical accounts and all these years. The greatest leaders of the world have copied his way, literally followed his seerah, his autobiography and his biography, and based on that governed their very countries. So see how did he make a fair judgment between two people, how he made these fair decisions between two individuals. Now his original intention was to perform Hajj al-Kiran. He did not brought a hadi along with him. The Prophet ﷺ instructed to perform Hajj al-Tamattu instead. So what he said to him, if you don't have sacrificial animals, what you do an Umrah, then just remove yourself from Hajj. Don't make Hajj al-Kiran. If you are the problem with all other companions that they had done the intention of Hajj al-Qiran. You can't do Hajj al-Kiran if you don't have a sacrificial animal. How to arrange a sacrificial? In Hajj al-Tamattu there is a provision. So he is telling him, do the Hajj al-Tamattu, you do your Umrah, okay, and then when you will finish your Hajj, you can arrange this hadi with you. And then he told him, don't do Hajj al-Kiran, you do Hajj al-Tamattu. And all of the regular Hajjis, all these years, they do Hajj al-Tamattu only, which is far too very useful and not complicated like this, because here there is always, you are bound in all of these accounts of Nabi Sallallahu Hajj. He was a Qaran, he had done the intention of Hajj al-Kiran, not Hajj al-Tamattu. Hajj al-Tamattu will give us this option, alternative of having some days where we can release ourselves from the Muharram, we can release ourselves from Ihram, and after that 3-4 days we will get a gap. But these were all of the Sahabas of Nabi Sallallahu, they wanting to do as Nabi did, okay. Finally 7th of Dhul Hijjah comes. It was known as Yawm al-Zinah, the day of decoration, on account of the sacrificial animals. They were garlanded. Now just the day before Hajj is starting, the final day is 7th Dhul Hijjah, and all the animals are being decorated, garlanded, okay. The Prophet ﷺ is telling his Sahabas that they will have to do the rituals. He is now instructing all of them, like tomorrow kal shuru hone wala hai Hajj, tomorrow Hajj is going to start, you have to get yourself ready. These are the very rituals. He is verbally telling them the instructions which they have to start tomorrow. This is all going on. The animals, all the sacrificial animals which are there, which are going to get sacrificed, those who had with them, those who are going to do tamattu and those who are going to do qiran, is telling them, and then this ceremony is going on where the animals are going to get it. See, this is the way it is. We are loving it. We are loving, even the animals themselves are aware that they are going to get gifted to God. There is a difference of opinion over whether. Now there is just last thing. Prophet ﷺ visited the Kaaba during this waiting period. Some scholars maintain that he did not. Some indicate that there was a servant, he made a khutbah in Masjid al-Haram, he performed tawaf before leaving for Mina. Now there is a difference. All these 5 days, some scholars say, some sheikhs say that he did go to Kaaba and did tawaf. He also made one khutbah. Some scholars say he never went to Kaaba. He was only at this here only. Where? Wadi al-Muhassab. And there only he was praying 20 rakats. So there is a difference of opinion. We have a narration from Abdullah ibn Abbas. He did not return to the Kaaba. The Prophet ﷺ arrived in Makkah and performed tawaf of the Kaaba before performing Sa'i. However, he did not approach the Kaaba until he returned from Arafah. This is Al-Bukhari Hadith 1625. Though some scholars do maintain that during this waiting period he did go to. But there is a narration from Abdullah ibn Abbas that during these 5 days, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, that is the reason why even to Hazrat Ali ibn Talib is telling that, okay, now you do your sacrifice and you directly do your Hajj with us. He did not go to Kaaba, which is like 4 or 5 kilometers only. So he and all his companions are here camped only. He did Umrah as a part of Kiran. He says, okay, my Umrah over and here only. Okay, that is it. Now today's lecture became very long. Alhamdulillah, we have finished it. Next lecture, we are directly going to start our Hajj. Directly from the very days of Hajj, we will start from Eid Dhul Hajj. Hajj will begin. Do not miss to join me in the next lecture, dears. Don't miss to join me. This will be so very informative, so very informative. We will start from Eid Dhul Hajj, our Yawm al-Arafah. All of the Hajj will start. But the journey, the prior rituals are finished and the actual rituals of Hajj will begin in the next lecture. Thank you for being with me. I hope this lecture will be of so much information to you. Make it, if you do not have time, you can make it on fast forward. You can make it increase the speed of my lecture. You can at least read it, but please read it. Please read it. This is for your betterment and for your family's betterment. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.